Hello everyone! Today I want to show you how you can easily set up an audio player which you can use as a kiosk player or for exhibitions or something like that. What you can actually see here now is the final product, which is an ordinary Windows tablet. And on this Windows tablet we now have the kiosk mode audio player. So on the left side you can see there's the cover of the material that should be played, like a CD cover or the cover of the exhibition work. And then you only have two buttons, a play button and a stop button. And on the lower right side you can see a playlist with the material that should be played. Now, if someone is going to visit your exhibition, he or she can just press play and then it starts. And yeah, he can listen to it, or press stop and then it stops. As simple as that. Now, what's most important here, the visitor cannot end this program or can switch to another program or do anything else. He or she can only just play the songs inside of that and nothing else. This is very handy because if you want to do this only with Windows, it's quite difficult to set up just an audio player that can only play audio and do nothing else. Now I'm going to show you how you can set up something like this on your own, so stay tuned. First of all, we need to obtain the tool which we will use to create the custom audio player. It's called Silverjuke and it's available at silverjuke.net. You can also find the download link in the video description. If we click on the download button on the Silverjuke page, you can see that it's available for Windows, Linux and also Mac OS. The versions for Windows and Mac OS have a 14-day trial, and after that it still works, but you will see always that little text here on the upper left side, which is not so great. But the version for Linux is free and open source, so if you can grab the version for Linux, or if you need the Mac version or the Windows version, you can use it for 14 days and then you have to buy a license key. When you have installed Silverjuke, it will look something like that, which is not so beautiful. But the good thing is, Silverjuke works with customized skins, and what we are going to do now is to create our own little skin that we can then use. First of all, I have created a custom skin which we can use as a basis. You can find the download link in the video description. The skin is XML based, so everything is described in XML, and additionally you will have some pictures which represent the buttons, as we have here the play button or here the pause stop button. What's very important, when you've downloaded the skin, you need to place it in the installation directory from your Silverjuke, which is in my case under program files x68. Then we have Silverjuke and then we have skins here. And then it's very important that the folder has the name of the skin. You can name it anything you want, but it needs to have a dot and .sjs at the end. So if you just create a folder without that ending, it won't work. So it's very important to have the .sgs ending here. And after you've created that directory, just copy all the files into it, and then you can switch to the skin in Silverjuke. Mine's here in German, but it's not so much different in the English version. You just go to settings, then there's the skins button here, and then you can see the name of your skin in the list. So I will choose now Born to Work, and as you can see already, the player has switched to the new skin. So now let's take a look at the skin itself. We have two files here. The first one is the main XML, and that just has some basic information about your skin. Here in line 2, you can give the skin a custom name. Mine's is now worked, has the name Born to Work, and you can give it an about, which is the name actually for the artist which used it in its exhibition. Here you can adjust in line number 3, you can adjust the colors for the tooltips, and in line number 4, that's actually very important because then you can specify the screen resolution of your skin. I have set it up to full HD, which means 1920 to 1080, and I have set it either as minimum size, also as maximum size. This means whenever the skin is started within the Silverduke player, it will always be in this size. It will always be in full HD. We can check this if we take a look at the Silverduke and go to the KIOSK modus and say start, and there you can see it's full HD. Nothing is left on the screen, just the skin as it's prepared. If we now hit F11, it's going back to normal mode, so we can edit it back. So basically that's the content of the main XML, with one very important addition. In line 5 we include the one.xml. You can name this file how you want it to name, but one.xml, that's actually where the magic happens and where the whole player is described. So if we take a look now at the one.xml, it's really kept very simple. If you know a bit of basic XML or HTML, you will be very familiar with the syntax that is used here. At first, here on line number 4, we specify the background image, or better, the cover image that you can see on the left here. That's the cover image here, and it's specified in line number 4. And if we take a look at the folder once again, here it's the main cover file, and I've made it available as a 1920 to 1080. There's one very important thing which you can see here, and I will zoom in a bit so that we can now see it better. The Silverduke skin uses an advanced technique to find out what areas of the screen should be clickable and which should be not. I will also link to the description where you can read about that. But basically, if you really want to keep it a simple layout, you need to have a one size pixel border around all your images that you use. And it must have a color that is not present in the whole picture, or that differs from the color. So I've put here a very purple line, a purple border, 1 pixel purple border, and that is actually used for the pictures. So remember, whenever you create the pictures you want to use for the player, always add a 1 pixel border around it in a different color than as we have here, the black background. Once again, I will link the sheet where it's explained in the video description. So now back to the one.xml. Here actually we create the box which represents which track is actually played at the moment. You can even specify here in line 7 where it should be placed on the screen, always in pixel, and you can here define how big it is. So when we start to play here, that's this line where you can see what title is currently played. That's done. That's this line here, and that's done in line number 7 of the XML. Here you can also change the color of it. It's a standard color scheme, so easy to adjust. Then starting from line number 12, we create the tracklist box. The tracklist box you can see here, and I have actually created only 3 items, so only 3 tracks are listed, but you can list as many as you want. You just have to add another box line and then you can show 5 tracks or 6 or however. But you have to remember, they also have to fit on the screen, so just be a bit careful on what you specify here with the height and the width, because that's actually very important for how many tracks actually will fit on the screen. So here I have 3. You can extend this to 5, 6, 7 or 10, but always remember the size of it. Then that's something that I actually don't want my visitors to be able to change. You can also add the volume slider. If you want to use it in your skin, just remove here these commenting lines, and then you will also have a volume slider so that the visitor or the listener to your songs or to your audio material can adjust the volume. I didn't want that. I had a fixed volume on my Windows tablet and had headphones attached, so I didn't use this one. Last but not least, in line 27 and 28, we defined the stop and play buttons, which you can clearly see here, as this is the play button and this is the stop button. If we now take a look again at the folder, you can see here the graphics for it, and these also have those 1 pix purple border. That's very important. Don't forget to add them to all of your graphics. And that's the stop button, also with also 1 pix purple border. Don't forget that. And here we have another file. That's the volume slider I mentioned. That's actually one of the files that comes with Silverduke, but you can use it if you need a volume slider. So, and that is actually the end of the XML, and you can customize this whatever you want. You can add different pictures, you can change the items in the tracklist box, you can change the whole color scheme, and you can also add more buttons. For example, if you want to embed a skip button, you can also embed it here. One thing that's important here is a target, and that target defines actually what the button does. So here we have stop and play, but you can also add skipped or rewind or something like that. Now once you've completed your personal skin, you can start the so-called kiosk mode in Silverduke, and if you hit start here, then this is the way it's going to look for your audience or for the visitors. They now can only, as I've shown it on the Windows tablet at the beginning of the video, they can just click play here in my case, and click the pause button again, and then it stops. That's everything they can do. They can't do anything else. They can right click mouse, doesn't happen anything. They can just view something about Silverduke, but you can also prevent this. They can hit space, then it starts, but they can't do anything else. If you want to quit the kiosk mode again, you just hit F11 and then it's going back to normal. So we are at the end of the video, and just a quick summary of what you need to do if you want to build your own custom audio player for exhibitions or something like that. At first go to silverduke.net and get the Silverduke audio player for Windows, Linux or Mac OS. Then install it. Then download the custom skin, which you can find in the video description, which contains these files. After that, go to the directory where you have installed Silverduke, go to the subdirectory skins, and there create a new folder for your skin. Mine is called borntowork.sjs. Very important, do not forget the .sjs. If you don't add this to the folder name, it won't work. After you've done that, just copy all the files from the skin in it, and then you have to activate it in Silverduke. Just go to the options screen, which is here. Just go to the options, go to skins, select your skin, and then it looks like it looks now. And yeah, and if after you've done that, you can start editing all the skin files here. You can change the graphics. Always remember we have two XML files here, the main XML, which includes the other XML files here in line number 5. And yeah, that's the main XML file where all the magic happens. And yeah, that's it. I will, once again, in the video description, you can also find the link to the documentation of this, how it's being done and what you have options. If you have any questions, just ask me in the comment section. I will try to answer them as best as possible. Thanks for watching and goodbye.